Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. Today I've got a little something special. I'm out here with Mr. Tom Brown. Mr. Brown is a outdoor enthusiast from the word go. I have known about Mr. Brown for quite so many years, but this is really the first time I've been able to sit down and just have a conversation with him at any given time about anything. So, Tom, welcome. Thank you for inviting me to come over here.
Yeah, man.
Tom, you do a lot of things. One of the things you do is duck calls, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Tell the folks out there and let them know what you do on your off time, so to speak.
Well, my whole life I've always been interested in the swamp, and that it just when I'm out on the lake, I'm in my comfort zone. That's one place I like being more than anywhere else. And I had a cousin that wood carved, and when I was a kid, he'd sit there with his pocket knife, and boy, that thing just enthused me. You know, I said, man, I'd love to be able to do that. But it was a lot of years went by before I ever really got into wood carving, or even making duck calls. I started off with Ray Davenport in 1964. Ray Davenport was the best painter I ever seen.
Right, he's right here from from our hometown in Sumter.
Right down the street on Keel Road.
That's right.
Passed away, I think, a year or two ago.
Correct.
But he's the one. He was a mentor. I went after him. I had a 1964 Swin bicycle with my paintbrushes in my mouth. I'd ride down the Wedgefield Road where we sitting right here.
Right.
Go all the way to Keel Road, throw that bicycle down. Mr. Davenport, boy, he hated it because he couldn't work when I got there. I said, you will show me how to paint these bricks so I can make them look like they're real.
Right.
And he told me, he said, I'm not a teacher. He said, but the only thing I can do is I'll show you how I do a brick. And he did. And he was good to me. He never was me. But he just said, I just don't teach.
Right, right.
And so Mildred White, another great artist,
Yep.
died a long while back. Mildred White was teaching acrylic painting on Oakland, West Oakland, right, at Center. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was a little community center. And she showed me how to do these paintings like the ones I'm doing. I think it's one or two back there.
Right.
But I started acrylic paintings, and I just got better and better and better. And I don't think you really get as good as you want to unless you're real hungry for it.
Right.
And
it's something you got to enjoy doing.
Yeah, you got to enjoy it. And there's different things in life that'll lead you in that direction.
Right.
Now, in the 60s, I was dyslexic.
Okay.
So it hurt me in my school, but it increased my imagination for painting.
Correct.
Because we all desire to be recognized, and the only way I could get recognized was I'd paint pictures and draw pictures of people.
Yeah. and you say that, and a lot of people, especially in this day and age, they actually have forgotten the imagination that a child can have.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with
setbacks.
Well, not only that, but with like a book.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, books like from Robert Ruick and Ernest Hemingway.
Oh, yeah.
And Harold Babcock.
Yeah.
You can sit there and imagine, read and imagine. It's the same thing with paintings.
Yeah, you get lost.
You get lost in that painting and try to imagine what's going on there. So yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and so that was basically how I got started and everything. And then I get tired of things. I'll be painting a painting. I got two paintings right now. I started.
Right.
Haven't finished either one. Then I'll grab a piece of wood, and if we have time, I'll show you my wood piles.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I'm not painting, but I'm wood carving a duck or something, a bear. I don't know, whatever hits me.
Now you make decoys as well, too.
Yeah, I make decoys and stuff like that. But my work, when I do it, I'm doing commissioned art. So when it leaves,
yeah, it's gone.
we're talking about a couple of months to make something. And I just ain't gonna sit down and make one, which I do have that one I showed you.
Right, right.
Or like I didn't nobody's bought it. But
Yeah.
a lot of times some of your best work is gone. You don't have it. Like the Lakeside magazine.
Correct.
I showed you that cracker.
Yeah.
I sold a couple of those.
And you got, we'll show these in a little bit, but you've got now I call them dolphin.
Yeah.
Today's people,
They call them mahi dolphins. Yeah.
You got a snapper over there, all hand carved out of wood. Yeah, it's
and then I do the swamp maps.
In the swamp maps, yeah. That swamp map that you got, like I said, we're going to show all this in a little bit.
Yeah.
But that swamp map, that's sweet. I mean, that really is.
Even if you 2 blocks off with that, you're still in the swamp.
You're still in the swamp. Yeah. Yeah, we were looking at it earlier, and even as much as you've been in the swamp, as much as I've been in the swamp, and guys, we're talking about the Santee Swamp here in South Carolina. So, that's not. That's not where that's supposed to be. It's supposed to be over here a little bit.
That's right.
But the name of this is such and such, and the name of that. And
we were talking about Swift Creek.
Yeah, we're talking about Swift Creek or Fast Ditch.
Yeah.
But and so you do your paintings, you do hand carvings. You also, what I was interested in when I got with you the other day when we were sitting there talking, is your duck calls.
Yeah.
Now you don't have many left. You sold most of them.
I said 60. I might have 10.
10 left. But you got some duck calls. Now you hand turn them on the lathe back here. Okay. So tell me about about your duck calls and what got you started in the duck call. Duck call making.
What gave me the idea was, first of all, I thought that on my duck call, one of my ideas was to have the right kind of signature, and I created that signature, Tom Brown.
Right.
And I wanted it not to just look hand printed, but to have a good look.
Right.
And of course, I hadn't made a duck call yet. I mean, all this was in the making. And the next thing I said, most people make duck calls, but they don't do barkings and labs and.
Right.
And of course, I got Dreaming tubes. I can 3D raise it.
Right.
Some of the ones I've sold for $250. Somebody want a duck on one side, a dog on the other side. So now you can get a duck call. That's like catching brown.
Right.
A lot of people make duck calls.
Right.
But my duck call probably sounds just as theirs, mine. They all sound, fairly good.
Fairly the same.
But I wanted something that you put in a case.
Right.
Or you keep. And,
well, that comes from your artistic mind, and and doing.
Well, I got the little boxes that go in.
Right.
And they over there under the mice. But I had that when you take it apart, you lay it in the box, and then what I did was I would burn a picture of a duck scene on top of the little box, and then I'd do a picture inside the box, and then somebody, mostly women, they'd come by. Oh, my husband would love that, and I said he sure would. How many you want? And then she said, well, he's got a barkin. I said, ain't no problem. We can put a barkin on it.
Right.
And so I could soup my deal up, and I could get close to $200 quick, because I'm doing not just a call. Now, if somebody wants a duck call, $75 all day long, any day they want.
Right.
Because I have to buy the insert. They done gone up to $15.
Right.
So I don't make that. That's too hard.
Right.
But I do make the barrel.
The barrel.
And then I make the little box, and then I do the art. So I got a simple little deal that I got going, because not everybody can wood carve or paint.
Correct.
And do the color.
Right.
Now if they want to, come over here and I'll show them how I do mine, and they bring the brush.
There you go.
We'll get together.
Well, how old were you when you made your first duck call? You remember
My
that?
first duck call, 26 years old, 1976. I was at the fire department working with Charles Holland.
Right.
And Charles Holland was the captain of the fire department, and he seen that I had talent, so he was making the duck calls, bringing them to me, and I was wood burning what's called Holland, Holland, duck calls, pretty good deal there. And I was doing that for him, and we made about 50 of them, and then I ended up, I got 25, and Dale Ackerson, well, Dale, he wanted it. So I had him we was at a duck calling thing down at, I think it was at Mill Creek or somewhere. And anyhow, the bottom line was, he gave me $50 for the whole box. And I didn't mean to ask him. I said, you want to give them back or sell them back? And so I never actually made a duck call, but I was involved.
Right.
And what happened was 2 years ago, when I had this idea of a good signature,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that I could wood carve and paint,
Right.
I said, I'm gonna go to Harbor Freight and see what they got. So I got me a little $300 Harbor Freight wood lathe, and I guess I'm a natural.
Yep.
I went over to Man Tool. They sell you the good African wood
Right.
in the sticks. They run about, I think they run about $8 and a half a stick,
Right.
and you can get 3 duck calls out of one, And so I got it, and I got the lathe, and I looked at YouTube. I'm YouTube talk, and so I watched YouTube, and they told me what I needed to buy for my lathe to make a duck call.
Right.
I run off 25 the first time I got into it, sold the time that I made.
Really?
Yep. But I was only selling them for about $50 a piece, but times have changed.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
the
yeah.
inserts are higher now, cost of everything is.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I went to 75,
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't mind making a living, but I ain't gonna take advantage of anybody,
Correct.
Get a good price, unless they want dogs and ducks painted on them, and then the price goes up,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right.
But,
Well, I mean, we're in his shop today. You can hear the planes flying over from Shaw Air Force Base and the chickens in the background probably, but and that's just how we do things.
Yeah.
This is not a professional studio where we just be, we're out here doing our thing.
yeah.
But we're gonna look around some more. The map here. I want to just touch bases on the map.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
your,
You need a reference.
you
want the old one?
Yeah, the original. Yep.
Yep.
This is one of the original maps of the Santee Swamp. You guys, if you watch my channel or seen any of my live streams, you may have seen this on my wall. This was made by John Cooper back in 1973, I believe.
Mm-hmm. You look down there.
Yep, down here. And he's got one, I've got one. There's a lot of these rolling around, but this one looks
that one was used.
been more used. But we were looking at that map, and and it's the swamp. I mean, it's a beautiful place. Anybody that's ever been up there, anybody wants to go, y'all come on, and we'll get you up there somehow. But anything else that you got?
Well, the only other thing I got, Jerry Steele, I took pictures of it from the phone. It's on the phone. I got the whole tram road system, the blueprint.
Oh yeah.
Every tram road down there.
Yeah.
I got it where they run it in. Even, you ever seen that pivot at Pine Island, a big iron pivot, about 50 foot by 50 foot circle?
Yep.
And they bring the train in a big old stack of railroad.
Yep.
Irons laying behind it right up on Pine Island.
Yep, right on behind.
Well, that was another thing. Boy, then I started thinking, I said, everywhere I go, if I go across Mill Creek, there's trams. If I go Order, there's trams. If I go across Pax, there's trams. And I was trying to figure out, and they had a system,
Mm-hmm.
the railroad car would come in, they'd load it and send it back,
Send
I
it
guess
back.
in Trussell.
Yep.
And, but that's another story.
Yeah.
I don't have it, but I do have.
If any of y'all are kind of curious about that, and the Santee Cooper Lakes, Lake Mary, Lake Moultrie, were built in 1940. Well, it was completed around 1942 through Eisenhower and the Great New Deal, and they logged the upper Santee, they called it the Great Santee Swamp.
Yep.
And they had to have a road system to get trucks and train cars to load the wood on when they cut it down. And that's when we talk about tram roads.
That's right.
And you can come across, I know several of them, I know you know quite a few
Well,
of them.
1955, when I was just a kid, me and Daddy would go to the Spockleberry Landing, take the old 46 Willis Jeep, and we'd ride to the old landing.
The old landing.
And we'd walk in banks, and Daddy said, if you ever get lost, this tram right here will lead you right
Right
back.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can see the old pilings.
Yeah.
The old wooden
But
pilings.
back in '55, they were still
They're
there.
still
Good.
there,
They're not,
good.
they rotted and bolts and mowed them
down and whatnot.
But
Well, they're still up there.
They're still there.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a. As Mr. Tom said, it's the old hillbilly shop, but
Yeah,
it's where he does his some of his best work is right
Well,
here.
my wife told me you're not going out there unless you put your pretty clothes on.
And I'm here with an old
yeah,
t-shirt.
but she was real. She said, "Boy, that was a last minute thing." I said, "No, I live like I live." And when you look at my place, you could say it maybe it's a little redneck or a little bit hillbilly, but I tell you what, anything you look on my place, you'll say you either live at the swamp or you love the swamp.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it.
Well, Mr. Tom, thanks so much
I appreciate it.
for this little interview. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video. I'm going to be doing some more videos and probably do a big compilation of highlighting South Carolina duck call makers. There's a lot of history in South Carolina with duck hunting, and there's a lot of heritage about duck hunting in South Carolina. It's just unfortunately, today's age, we just don't have it like we used to. We could probably sit here and tell hunting stories for the rest of the day,
Oh, yeah.
which we may do. We just may do it off camera. But anyway, guys, appreciate you joining us, and we will see y'all next time on Daddy Duck 365.